back once again. Here we are, week 10, game 10, and I'm with the head coach of the Oakland Patriots for another edition of Inside the Headset. Coach, here you are, week 10, game 10. You're 8-1, headed into the final game, and going to play it a little bit early here in a couple of days on a Thursday night. But I thought really you looked great on Friday night against Riverdale Warriors in the Battle of the Borough, and you know, you can talk about the game, but most of all, really thought your defense stood out, and we'll talk about them in a minute. Go ahead and take the floor.
Week 10, man, isn't that crazy? I mean, this, you say it every year, but this has flown by. Don't you agree?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. I think the weather's cooperated with us and kind of gave us a few more days of good outside practice than normal. We haven't, leaves are still all on the trees, and normally at this time it's kind of rainy and windy, but it's been kind of a quirky season. But gosh,
flown by, man.
Feels good to be where you are. I mean,
Yeah.
the one loss, but still taking it where you are. If someone said there's a lot of football clubs love to be 8-1 right now.
No doubt, and I think I actually thought about that this morning. I got in early before we had a faculty meeting, and I was thinking, man, we're 8-1, and that's 9-0 would be better, obviously, but 8-1's pretty good. If somebody had told me that, would I've taken it? Probably so.
And to be where you are with your football team, you've got a good arsenal as far as you're healthy.
Yeah, we are. We're healthy, and kind of to go off what you were saying there is, I think we're starting to play our best football. I think defensively the other night was pretty impressive performance on our part. We've continued to improve defensively. I don't know that there's any real magic to it. I think playing with better effort, playing with better emotion, playing with the right intent. And what I mean is I think we're really starting to play for one another and for the man next to us instead of just worrying about ourselves. And I've said this over and over again, I don't think that we've ever really struggled with selfishness or laziness or any, content, but, just separating it from being, good, which is what we are, and trying to be great. There's a lot of, minute things that you've got to really hone in on. And for whatever reason, just, the climate of our team right now is just really strong. And, you could just tell Friday, even in the moments of pressure, what an odd game it was, but even in the moments where there was pressure and probably tension and stress, whatever, where you
tied 14-14,
yeah,
they're in
and
the
then
game.
28-20, even in those moments, you've got to look at your team and kind of figure out their identity. And I just thought we were loose, we were having fun, we were excited. There was all those things. It was just obvious. I had multiple people tell me, looked like we've had as much fun in that game as we've had all year. And that doesn't mean just the defense, just in general, the kids were playing for one another, body language, tempo, on and off the field. I mean, like I said, I've probably said before, it's, I notice everything on film, I notice everything during the game, and I think it says something. Everything you do makes a statement. The way you run on and off the field says something. After you get tackled or make your tackle and you get up, it says something. When you drop a ball and you go back to the huddle, the way your demeanor is says something. I mean, it always, there's always a message that you're sending, and whether it's to your teammates, whether it's to the fans, whether it's to the coaches, or whether it's to people that are recruiting you. I've got to tell these guys that are getting recruited.
Or your next opponent on video, because if they see you as a flat football team and they recognize that, they will hone in on that and try to beat you up that you're a flat football club.
But these guys that want to be, and they all want to be college football players, but these guys that want to be recruited by X school or whatever. Your body language and the way you run on and off the field and the way you handle yourself in critical situations, it says a lot. And we just put our best foot forward. I mean, that as a whole team, not just the defense. Now, obviously, I could point some people out. I mean, I think Josh Smith was just played like a man possessed. I think that's the best way for me to put it. I just have never seen him like that.
He got it. He got it Friday night. He was getting it.
His energy and excitement and everything just filtered. It was infectious in the right way. It's what I've been talking about. I mean, you're going to make an impact. What kind of impact is it going to be? Is it going to be a positive or negative? And his Friday was just such a positive.
Good example.
I mean, you could just see it in those TV timeouts. Man, those are just you might as well just take a pair of pliers and rip my fingernails out.
I hate it. I hate it.
I mean, it's misery. But during one of the TV timeouts, and not in a disrespectful or showmanship, nothing toward Riverdale, but our kids on defense were standing out there during a TV timeout one time, and they're out there dancing. Cameron Newman's dancing. Cameron Newman looks about like me dancing. He has no business really doing it, but he was having fun.
Yeah.
They were just
taking a break.
It was in a pretty tense situation, and I thought I looked at him, and our coach had said something on the headset, so I was like, they weren't doing it like in the face of Riverdale. They weren't doing it toward the crowd, trying to get attention, which is what most kids do.
Taking a break.
They were just, having fun. I thought, man, that's awesome. So, again, you gotta kind of go with the flow of your team and the personality of your team. Our team's a little bit more laid back, and you gotta let them have some fun. And I just thought we flew around, and it was exciting to watch them that way. I think hopefully we can build on it. We got a short week this week, and I know emotionally they're a little drained from the win, and coming back, on that little rest is something we've got to try to work on this week. I've had to alter some things without that extra day, but yeah, our defense was outstanding. I mean, it was. I think I'm not a big stat guy. I just don't get into all that very much. Bottom line is we won the game, but I think the stats tell a story sometimes. And I think at one point in the third quarter it was like 370 yards to 80 yards. It was a lot. It was a lot to not a lot.
And when you get that stat, that's good.
Now, again, to their credit, they ran a kickoff back. They did, we didn't just give that to them. They ran an interception back, so they had limited offensive snaps at times, which we had a part to play in that. But their kids fought extremely hard, and I thought they played. They gave us their best effort, which is what we wanted, and it was a great football game.
Well, and you spoke about your offensive stuff and giving the interception, but your quarterback and your receivers are starting to communicate, even though you didn't have to pass the ball that much, but I still see him, getting more into the mode of a quarterback. I mean, his passes are crisp, and stuff, but a couple of the receivers have got to go after, or maybe you can comment or whatever, then some of them, they are bad passes.
It's just...
And some of it's timing.
Yeah, it's just... it's just rhythm and getting in, flow, not putting too much on him, but, case in point, the interception, the drive before that when we scored, the receiver kind of ad-libbed at the end of the route, which that's kind of the good and bad. He broke the route off, and Jacory saw it and threw it in there and got a touchdown. Second time we got down there and went back to a very, very similar concept, and the other receiver did not ad-lib. He did what he was supposed to do. Jacory should have thrown it to him, wanted him to do what the other receiver had done, threw it to a guy in a white shirt, and that's where, when you...
And off to the races.
Yeah, so that wasn't good. He missed a couple deep balls. Jacoby Stevens got behind the DB twice. Either one of those throws is on the money, and it's probably a
that's
touchdown.
what I thought. At my lens, it looked pretty much, it's still catchable, but,
he had a chance. He had a chance to go up and get it, but the guy was in good coverage. If he throws it over Jacoby's shoulder and makes him have to go out and get it, those are touchdowns. And then, obviously Jacoby got one, I guess, in the third quarter there. But I think one of the encouraging things for us, and I really thought was a demoralizing moment for them, was, the first 2 or 3 drives of the second half, we really ran one play, I think, probably the whole drive. And, we just wore them down. That's typically what we've been able to do in the second half of most of our games. Again, I've said before, it's not anything we do magically at halftime with adjustments. It's just, I think, physically we start to wear people down. We were wearing them down with our run game, and we had some bigger holes open up. Our tailbacks were doing a great job of hitting it. And, the couple times we did throw it was just, easy little throw and catch. So we just had 2 drives in the third quarter that were really, nice to watch. And couple that with a lot of great, defense where we're getting off the field on third down and creating turnovers, which we did in the third and fourth quarter. It makes it hard to get beat. Like I said, we had to overcome some things because we spotted them 14 points. But all in all, very pleased with our performance.
All right, well, everything's done with the Battle of the Boroughs, but you got one more on Thursday, and then you'll get to live another 7 days. So let's talk, I guess, about the next 11 to 12 days until, you get to that first game, because you're guaranteed one after that, and you're going to play in that one. You don't know who it is or anything, but So what does Oakland got to do right now besides close out Thursday night with a win and end up 9-1? What's the message to the guys and to the fans and just moving through this?
Well, I mean, I hope for us is, you know, like I said, try to get healed up mentally and physically from Friday. And, you know, coming off such an emotional game, we don't need to have a letdown. We need to really continue to build off the things we've done the last few weeks as far as, like I said, the climate, our culture of what's going on in our locker room and our huddle. I think we're really moving in the right direction there. Hoping we were going to peak at the right time, and I really feel like right now we are. So
with room to grow.
Yeah, we still got our best football still ahead of us, I think.
Agreed.
So you know, every team goes through, you know, peaks and valleys, and I'd much rather peak, you know, at the end of the year. And I really feel like right now that we're, you know, heading up that final peak. So hopefully we can, you know, keep that thing going. Greek presents, you know, a challenge in and of itself just because it's on a Thursday. We have senior night, the letdown after the Riverdale game, you know, whatever. I mean, there's a multitude of things you got to look at.
It's not a trap game, but it is.
Yeah.
It could be overshadowing, trying to think, because I want to get in the playoffs. Because a lot of kids want to get on into the, they want to get into the motor, and you want them to.
Yeah, and I mean, kids are kids. They don't, you know, they're not silly. They look at things and they know that Stewart's Creek is young and still has a lot of experience to gain. And, you know, it's going to be tough for Stewart's Creek to come in here and beat us. Well, I mean, everybody knows that, but can they beat us? Absolutely. I mean, you know, if we don't play well, I saw them play Riverdale, I think, and you know, they've got the weapons. You know, if you come out dead or lifeless, they're gonna capitalize on some things. I really like the quarterback. They got some skilled kids that have done nice things with the ball. So we just need to go out and have fun. You know, to me, the benefit of playing on a Thursday on the short week is you get to go out and play again. You know? So to me, the best way to kind of move forward is to go out and perform again, and then we get an extra day's rest before we, you know, go into the playoffs. So you can look at it however you want, but you know, Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever, we'll figure out what our fate is for the playoffs, and you know, like I said, hopefully we can stay healthy, can keep this momentum going in the right direction, and the attitude and the energy and enthusiasm that we've had, just keep building on it. And I think we will, so it's exciting right now.
Well, let's let it be a quick show, because I think I'll be here Thursday night, and I'm going to go to Hoover Friday. But I will say one thing, in talking with Tom, he's been doing some early indications. He said there is a possibility that everybody, if the cards fall right, it could be pretty exciting that all the teams could possibly make the playoffs,
Yeah, that's wild.
except Stewart's Creek. But,
Yeah.
But Siegel could possibly be in, Laverne could be in, Riverdale, of course, already in, and as we go down.
Well, I mean, you look at our league.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, you look at our league, and
that would be great, though. I'd love to see everybody get in.
no, it would be cool, and I mean, I don't wish anybody ill will. I mean, as far as success, other than the time they play us. I mean, so
Yeah.
I know that, you know, Cookville's a very good football team, but Laverne went to Cookville, I guess, or maybe they didn't, but they played Cookville and you know, won pretty convincingly. I think it was 38-17 or something like that.
Right.
And that's going to be the district champion of another district, you know, and Laverne's going to finish, I don't know, 5th or 6th in our league, and for them to go over there and play the way they did against a district champion of another district, that says something about our district right there. You know, I've seen Siegel on film recently, and I really think Siegel is playing
the best ball. Better ball than they were week 5, week 4.
Yeah, very competitive right now. Got to give their staff a lot of credit because they've hung in there, you know.
Grown up fast.
And to be where they were of their schedule and all that, 0-4, 0-5, whatever it was, for them to be where they are now, it, you know, speaks pretty highly of their coaching staff and their kids to be able to kind of sustain. And then I think, you know, like, you know, Riverdale and Smyrna are both. You catch either one of them teams on the wrong night, you're not playing well, and they're playing really well, you're going to get beat. So, and I don't care who it is. I think Riverdale and Smyrna are capable of playing with anybody. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. You know, I think there's a lot of cards that have to fall on Friday before you can start making too many predictions. I know Krager's going to keep up with it, and he obviously knows a lot better than I do. But you know, whatever. We'll just wait and see how it works out, and hopefully, you know, I'm not gonna lie, we'll cross our fingers and hope we get a good draw. But we
well,
haven't.
wouldn't you? I mean,
we hadn't been a benefactor. There's been other schools that have gotten better draws than us the last couple of years. But I mean, you can complain about it, whatever it is. I mean, I think everybody knows the the elephant in the room right now is that everybody's going to see that probably one of the projection shows were us and Blackman playing the second round. You know, the realist in me would say that's a joke. I mean, for us and Blackman to have to play in the second round is dumbfounding. I mean, it's ignorant. It shows you how messed up our system is. But at the end of the day, you can play them in the first round or third round or fourth round. You're going to have to play them again at some point. So I don't worry about it. I do think it's a little bit, if you're Blackman, for example, and again, not speaking for Coach Chad Owens, but they're going to win this district, the toughest district in the state, and that reward is going to be you get to play Oakland in the second round. Now,
that's not no more fair to them than it is to you.
No, it makes absolutely no sense. But
that's not a win-win.
But if that happens, it happens, and like I said, they'll say the same thing. We got to play again. You know, might as well just get it over with. So whatever, we're just gonna wait and see. I know Friday.
I still wish they'd throw them all in a hat and draw them out, and if you got to go to if you have to go to Tri-Cities, you go to Tri-Cities. I mean, you know, do something.
Yeah. The thing with the playoffs that I don't like. And again, it's not so much about the competitive nature of wanting to win as it is the playoffs are supposed to be a reward. And one of those rewards is you get to play different opponents. And to me, you know, you look at the history, and I'm not just talking about Oakland, I'm just talking about everybody in our league. We just play right back through our league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good. It's nothing new. It's nothing fun. Now, are they great games? Absolutely. Does the T display make a lot of money? Absolutely they do.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot more fun for us to drive to Bradley Central or up to Knoxville.
It's not about the TSSAA, it's about the kids.
I just wish that you got to play in different atmospheres, get to go to different places. And if you meet in the semis. That's the way it used to be back in the day, years ago. But that's not the way it is. It's not going to be that way.
Because we can't get our two teams in the championship, there's no way for it to happen.
No, and and I don't. That's not.
And I don't mean that in a mean way, but you'd like for you to be on one side, or Riverdale or Smyrna on one side, and somehow or another you get to meet at the end.
And this happened for Riverdale went west one time, and Smyrna went west one time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Both of those teams have gone west.
Because it split right down the middle of the county.
Yeah. So both of the teams went west, depending on. I think it was. The year that Smyrna went to the state championship in 10, they went west because didn't they play Maryville?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but you know, there's always a small glimmer that you could see two county schools, but that's never probably going to happen. My point though is, you know, whether it's Blackman, Riverdale, Oakland, Siegel, whoever, you shouldn't be playing right back. Look at Siegel 3 years ago. Now we weren't a great football team that year, but they had to play us in the first round. Blackman in the second round and Riverdale in the third. What kind of reward is that? I mean, it's not a reward. I mean, and I don't just mean by having to play tough people. I'm saying Siegel didn't get to play. They played 3 opponents that they had already played in the regular season. That's not what this is. The purest. That's not what it's for. And you know, but again, it's not going to change. So I don't know. We'll see. You know, obviously Krager will be in his lab doing whatever he does. How's he going to do that? Is he going to Hoover?
We're going to Hoover. And then after the game, I'll have it all set up, and apparently he'll come over, and we're going to shoot it from the Embassy Suites in Hoover, Alabama.
So y'all are going to do the Tennessee projections in Alabama.
And then I'll fire them up. I've got to, and then we'll let them go.
All right.
Well, how can we get back in time? It's either that or get on the road and I shoot him in the back seat. I have no light. He'll just be riding around in the back seat of the car.
I'm just messing with you, but y'all do that and I'll be trick or treating. So
we'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll give you the guesstimate of time.
It'll be. He's already got one of them up, so we'll wait and see.
All right. All right, Thursday night right here, Ray Hughes Stadium, senior night. It'll be Stewart's Creek Redhawks and Oakland Patriots. Y'all be here.